Through these halls, where lovers get lost, and lust consumes the wicked. A place where reality collides with fantasy. In the pages, where romance is second to none. Welcome to the Lover's Library.
Hey, lovers.
I'm Carly.
I'm Sydney.
And I'm Zoe.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Hello. Merry
Yeah.
Christmas. A couple days
New
ago.
Merry
Yeah,
Christmas.
Happy New Year's.
Yeah, it's Happy New Year's.
All the
it's
events.
almost. By the time this
Yes.
comes out, it'll be like right before New Year's.
Right.
Oh, how exciting.
The 29th.
Yes.
New
Or somewhere
year,
around
new me.
Then,
Yeah,
depending on what we do.
Right.
But, well, here we are with another Christmas book.
Are we recording a podcast right now?
This book was Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. So should we do What's the Scoop?
What's the scoop, Carly?
All right.
You
Stop
get out of my
copying
head.
me.
Tessa Bailey, a.k.a. the Michelangelo of Dirty Talk, is a Long Island girl who avoids the sun and social interactions.
Same.
She has written so many books. So many books. There were a few that caught my eye. There's one, it's a series called Secretly Yours and Unfortunately Yours. Those looked really cute. And then there's another one that's called It Happened One Summer. And it sounded really good too. It has a Schitt's Creek inspired theme, kind of.
That's funny.
Like, had everything, lost it.
Yeah.
Kind of going back to the beginning.
I didn't realize that I had read some of her books already.
I
read
know,
the
I know I've heard her
Unfortunately
name, but
Yours ones.
you've read those ones?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. They looked good.
And you said, you were like, you probably haven't read her books. And I think I just like have heard her a lot. And that's why I assumed I had read some of her books.
Yeah.
But I don't think I actually have before.
I
this
see her
book.
all over
Yeah.
Literally.
Book Talk and everything.
Yeah.
Well, and she is very active on TikTok
Mm-hmm.
also. So I think that's where a lot of people have found her from. But this book, our book is called Wreck the Halls, which, side note, last podcast, I said it wrong. And
Wrecking.
I was like, oh, why do I keep calling it that? That's not it. It's called Wreck the Halls. So this book is about Melody Gallard. She has a quiet life and is just fine with that.
Yeah. Sorry, we'll get into it.
After her long lost love, Beat Dawkins, comes back into her life, she's willing to step back into the spotlight, even if that means attempting the impossible, reuniting their mothers. Steel Birds were a popular band predating the birth of Mel and Beat. The band split up for unknown reasons, and the two women hate each other. Mel agrees to helping Beat, not knowing the reason behind his drive to get the payout. Can they do it? Lovers quarrel.
Let's talk
When
about the elephant
I
in the room.
say I almost barfed at their names.
Oh my gosh. All the names in this book.
It was an ick.
Yes.
What we got? We got Beat. We got Melody.
Who
we
names
have
it? Wait.
Octavia.
Who
There
names
was
their child
two normal
Beat?
names. It was Danielle and Joseph.
Yeah.
Everybody else, weird name.
Right.
Yeah. Very unique. We
Well,
won't say
her-
weird. We're going to be nice because I did like this book.
Right. But that was one of the
Boss had a strange name. What was it?
Who?
Her boss? I can't remember what it was.
Svanila.
I feel like I pronounced it different every time I read it.
Here, I have it close by. Savalina. Savalina.
Savalina?
Savelina.
Okay.
Good time. Good time.
I just call her Savvy because I didn't know what her
Yeah.
name was.
Thankfully, they didn't say her name a whole lot.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to
But we
do
heard
that.
Melody and Beat all the time.
Beat.
But they called
Beat.
her Mel
Beat.
a lot.
I know, but geez, like, gosh. Okay, I love the book, but
Melody
that was
is
one
fine.
of my icks.
I know somebody named Melody.
Right.
Yeah.
Beat is what caught me off guard.
Beat. Yeah.
The first sentence says something about Beat Dawkins, and I'm like, I must have read that wrong. But I was wondering if there was a, like I thought maybe his name was Dawkins because of like Hawkins,
Oh.
but I couldn't figure out if Gallard was something.
Like from Stranger Things?
No.
Oh.
Like a singer.
Oh, okay.
Like I thought maybe it was a a play on a real person's name. But
Okay. No, I don't know. I didn't like their names at first, but it definitely got better as the
it
book went
didn't
on.
get better for me when they were banging and she just kept saying beat.
Hit that beat.
Yeah, that was like
There
Oh my
was one
gosh.
line.
it takes you out of it, you know,
Oh,
like
should we save that for the third date?
Yeah, I'm going to, I have it
Should
highlighted,
it be-
so I'm going
okay.
to bring it up. Don't
Okay.
worry.
I thought it was interesting how she has these two basically like meet for the first time when they were 16.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting. And then what did he say? Oh, how they get their little nickname from the beginning, like when they have their little interaction when they're 16 at that interview.
Right.
Mhm.
He calls her a peach.
Yeah, I thought that was super cute.
And then what did he say about it? Let's see. I have it highlighted.
Peaches have thick skin.
Yep. She said, no, they have, let's see. He said, "You're not a lemon, by the way, not even close." He squinted, but not enough to fully hide the twinkle. More of a peach. She swallowed the dreamy sigh that tried to escape. Maybe so. Peaches do have pretty thin skin. Yeah, but they have a tough center.
Oh, yeah.
I like
Peaches
that.
don't have thick skin.
Yeah, I was about to
Thin
say
skin, tough center.
so soft, it gets bruised so easily.
Yeah. I enjoyed Mel's character. I felt like she was kind of awkward.
She was witty and, yeah.
but funny. Yeah, I was like,
Socially
she's so
awkward.
funny. But she's harder on herself
Mm-hmm.
than she should be because everybody loves her.
Yeah,
Right.
she
Like,
just could not wrap her mind around that.
She was forced into the spotlight at such a young age that now that she's an adult, she just chooses to be like, hide away from people because she doesn't want that spotlight. And she's like, I'm awkward. No one likes me, blah, blah, blah. But then when she actually is around people and she's interacting, they're like loving her. They think she's so funny. But what you doing, girl? He's
There
fine.
was actually
He's
a
fine.
part
We
that
got a baby still.
Oh yeah.
Just sorry.
You might hear
And then Carly telling Sydney he's fine.
when they were 16 and they met, there was a tabloid that somebody wrote about her. They said, Melody Gallard, always a before picture, never an after. I'm like, this is a 16-year-old
Right?
girl. Like, that's so
Fuck
freaking
off.
rude.
but you know it's not crazy to imagine because it happens now.
It does, yeah.
With social media and
Mhm.
TikTok and all that jazz, young girls get all of the slack for any image issues or anything like that.
Well, everything. And it's like, okay, I know you guys aren't all into Taylor Swift or what, but like everyone
Who?
like
Just
is
kidding.
so obsessed with how she's dated so many guys or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, how many guys have dated tons and tons of women, but no
Right.
one's bashing
Mhm.
them about it.
Right.
No one's writing articles and calling them names about it, you
Right.
know?
Right.
Like she's not scandalous in any way.
And I
Yeah.
just have to imagine, like, dating when you're famous is probably so much harder because,
Yeah.
I mean, they talk about it in this book so much about how you never know if your friends are your friends for the right reasons or the person you're dating is going to go and
Yes.
tell all your secrets.
Right.
Yes.
So-
That was Beat's biggest issue is he's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to get close to anybody because I don't know if they're my friend for the right reason. Like if they're really just trying to get me drunk so that I'll slip up and say
Mhm.
something that
Right.
they
Which
can
is
tell
But also,
themselves.
I mean, he's getting blackmailed.
Yeah.
for real.
So he was having
True.
trust issues from the
Yeah.
jump. You know what I'm saying?
For 5 years, shit.
But-
And
sucks.
that was kind of okay. Can we just talk about that for just a little bit?
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't expecting it to be his bio dad.
The guy that broke up the band to be his bio dad.
Yeah, or the
Yeah.
guy that was blackmailing him.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
But she gave that away really fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was like, no, it can't be.
You thought it was a
In my
lie.
heart, I was just like, no.
Yeah,
that
no.
would be
Yeah.
horrible.
I didn't think, I was like, did they do a paternity test? Because ain't
Right.
no way I'm
Right.
going to start paying you for
Right.
some secret. I'd be like, that sucks for my mom, I guess.
Yeah,
But we
then-
know he's like smarter than that from the beginning. He's like,
Yeah.
no,
Right.
let me see that. Oh shit, you're right. So yeah, from the get-go, our first encounter with Beat is him getting a phone call. He's about to go into his birthday party with his friends. It's supposed to be a surprise, but he knows what they're doing. And he gets a phone call from a guy, which we find out is Fletcher, who was the drummer for the band.
Mm-hmm.
And he essentially caused the breakup of the band. But apparently he is Beat's biological father. And
nobody knows.
nobody knows.
Dun, dun, dun.
So Beat is trying to protect, which I think it's kind of annoying and ridiculous. He's trying to protect his family's reputation. I'm like, what?
Right.
People have illegitimate children or whatever all the time. Like, just because
That's more normal than
Yeah.
having
Well, but
he was worried about upsetting his dad.
his dad didn't know, and then I think he didn't want it to look bad on his. I mean, technically, it was his and his mom's scholarship.
But what
thing.
does that have anything to do? It's not like they
But-
did something like
People always they try to make you look bad no matter what, and I think he was not wanting to do that, but
yeah.
I mean, it all worked out.
Yeah. So that was our first meeting of him. And then our first meeting Mel after, as an adult, she was playing bocce ball with her coworkers, which I thought was an interesting
yeah.
thing to get thrown in there. I was like,
Tessa
oh,
Bailey, do you
all
do you
right.
play
Right,
bocce
right,
ball?
right. Are you in
you
a
like
league
some
or
bocce
something?
ball? But one of the things that had me dying, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this girl, was that she had to walk up because it was her turn, and it was like if she made it, they'd win, and if she missed, then they would lose. And she was freaking out because everyone was staring at her. And then she said, was everyone looking at her butt? They had to be. She looked at everyone's butts.
yeah.
Even when she tried not to. I was like, that's funny. Like, yeah, like
That's such a real thing to say.
I know. I loved that. But so she has her we get to kind of meet her and see her things and see what she's about. But she's walking home, and that's when we meet Danielle. And we're like, she's being creepy. Hella creepy.
Danielle?
Lurking in the shadows, waiting for Mel to walk by, and then she pops out and she's like, hey, I'm Danielle. I'm making
You've
this.
probably seen my emails.
Yeah.
Right.
And she's like, no, I deleted all of your shit.
Because you're a stalker.
Yeah.
And one thing I will say is, when Beat had called Danielle to talk to her, he was like, oh, I never read her email because it was so passionate. I was like, was it though? Because I did not feel the passion. She said,
Right.
It sounded like she was really excited, though. Like, that she liked the band and...
yeah, but all I could think was it was just a producer trying to get a sale, I
Right.
didn't
Yeah.
feel the passion from her.
Totally.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I did end up liking her. So.
I did, too.
But that from the jump, I was like, no, okay.
Yeah.
Really didn't like a little bit.
Well, when she meets when Danielle kind of stops her and says, hey, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, can we talk? Mel's like, no, get away from me. And then she's like, well,
Same.
Beat's coming. And then Mel's like, wait, what?
Right.
She's completely obsessed with this guy.
When Danielle even said, that was a way to get your attention or something.
Yeah.
I'd be like, girl, shut up.
Yeah. Don't call me out like that.
Right.
Where's the girl code here? But so she says, Beat is already, we have a meeting scheduled, which we knew because he called her because that was his solution, because his dad, like we said, is blackmailing him, and he wants
Bio
$1 million.
800,000.
800,000
No, because the deal
for the show was $1 million.
yeah.
Did they ever
Okay.
actually
Or
say
200,000? 200,000?
No, I think his
was
first
800?
one was,
he wanted double what he gave last time? That's
Yeah.
what I remember.
Right.
I think it was 800,000.
Yeah.
That's
Because if he won the million, then there was still some left over
Yeah.
after he gave the ransom, whatever.
Yes. So he
Ransom?
ransom, basically. It felt
Blackmail
like
is
it.
a ransom in some way.
But so he's like, this is the only way I can think of to get this money, besides taking out a loan that's not going to be, it's not going to be good if I do that, which I can't imagine taking out a loan for $1 million.
Absolutely not.
No. So anyways, he calls Danielle, sets it up, and he says, but I'm not doing this without Mel. So like, you're going to have to get a hold of her and have her meet us, or else I'm not doing it. So then Danielle's like, I'm going to get her. She gets her, tells her about it, mentions Beat's
creepy
name,
way.
and then Mel's all like, anything.
They were
Yeah,
like
sure. That's great.
wicked obsessed with each other
Yeah.
Yeah.
from the beginning.
I mean, 14 years. That's a lot of time. to be pining for somebody for that long.
But then it's like, it kind of, you would maybe think that she has this like made up, or even him has this made up idea of what they're like in their head, because really, like, you don't really know him.
No, because it's been literally 14 years. That's a long time to not even like get in contact with somebody.
Yeah.
Well, at first I was like, why is she like so obsessed with him? But then she's at school one day and she sees a video of him.
Oh, yeah.
And he told the press like he wasn't going to talk to them anymore because
if they didn't leave her alone.
Yeah, because they talked so much shit on her. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Okay, so then they go to the meeting, and him and her obviously are like immediately love struck,
smitten,
and he's trying to play it off like, no, I'm cool, I don't like her. And Mel's like, I'm in love. But one thing he said that I like highlighted was he found himself grateful for the loose fitting clothes. Why? It wasn't as if Beat could or would be taking them off her. No, he had certain tastes that ensured he kept his sex life private. I was like, sir?
Are we gonna talk about that in the third date?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, so you're a freak. And then what was it? My first thought was that is it called BDSM? Yeah, that was my first thought. I was like, oh, he likes to be tied up and beat.
I was just wondering the whole time if he was like a virgin, but had like done things.
Yeah.
But then it's figured it out.
Oh, I thought we figured it out and we will talk about it. But I will say,
that's not what I expected.
No.
I was going to say, I thought it was going to be way worse than what it was.
Yeah.
Me too.
But she kind of built it up.
Yeah.
Until like we figured out what it actually was. And I was just like,
well, if it had been worse, Mel wouldn't have wanted that.
No.
I don't think Mel would have been for that.
No.
To a degree, maybe, but not.
50 Shades of Grey him.
A what?
50 Shades of Grey him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh. I was
well,
like, Graham? Who is Graham? Is it in the book?
My bad. There was a couple spaces in that sentence.
I haven't seen that movie. I've read the books, but I never watched the movie.
I haven't read the books or watched the movie.
Oh,
pass.
The books are good. I thought they were good.
I read the first one. The movies were a pass for me.
Yeah. Okay, so they have the meeting. They decide, let's do this. So their first point of a business is they're going to meet with Octavia and talk to her about it. And what better place to do it than their like big Christmas party thing where they announce who the no, they don't announce that. She sings, whatever. That's like
they give a gift every year, but the gift is her singing every year.
Yeah, her singing.
Right.
So
okay, thanks.
When she's building up how the relationship is between the two moms, I feel like I immediately wasn't super happy. I was like, ooh, I don't think I'm gonna like Octavia. I was like, she sounds stuck up and blah blah blah. And the more she talked, the more I loved her. I just felt like she seemed like she was a good mom, you know?
Yeah.
Like she did everything to try to protect him and give him the best that she could, which was everything. I mean, he didn't struggle at all, but he even mentions that like I had everything. I didn't need, I didn't need anything.
Right.
Everything was provided for me. But I just liked how she talks to them. It was cracking me up. When they go to talk to Octavia, she's like she was about to sing. And so they end up going to like a coat closet to talk. And she talks to Beat and she says, "Son, why are you trying to squeeze the girl to death?" And then he says, "I don't know." She says, "I see." She's like, "Oh Lord, let's get on with this." I was like, "Yep, I like her."
I liked her a lot. She was funny. She was more caring than she let on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked her.
Especially with the feud. I was like, these women don't care. You know? Like that's kind of.
But it seemed like they didn't care, but at the same time it did, because it was like Beat said, that was the first time I've ever said your mom's name. Like he said Trina, and then he was like, whoa, that was weird. He's like, we don't say her name.
It's like a bad word, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, shoot, if my mom had a feud with somebody, I'd be the same way. I'm not saying her name at all.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You're like, we hate her.
Right.
I was surprised at how easily they both warmed up to each other's parents. Like, he was semi-decent with her mom and she was decent with his mom, even though they were raised their whole lives to like hate the other person.
Right.
But the basis of the reality show was that they were going to be followed and filmed live. And I was
12
like,
to 14 hours a day.
yeah. I was like, well, it sure didn't take them long to break the internet.
Yeah, for real.
They did it really quick. But I just was like, this reunion seems like it's going to be impossible.
Mm-hmm.
And then Octavia agreed. And then I was like, but then everyone was beginning to be more attracted to the idea of Beat and Mel as a couple instead of
the reunion.
And I just kept thinking, well,
As
shit.
they would.
Yeah.
Because that's a better
yeah.
plot line in
For
anyways. Like, y'all been mad at each other for so long. We don't care. We need a new storyline in this.
Yeah. They're like, this is way better.
Right.
But in my mind, I was just kept going back to the blackmail. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, do you think he'll still get the money if they don't make the reunion happen? Because the two of them just being around each other was so much of a hit.
Right.
Like, I just kept thinking that in the back of my mind. It was like, I didn't think that there was ever going to be a resolution with the blackmail other than actually getting the money and paying him.
Right.
So,
which Beat should have said something to
totally.
his mom about that.
Totally.
Like,
Also, when he showed up to Beat's apartment, I thought that Melody was going to overhear the interaction, but she didn't.
He
So it's like-
showed up.
Fletcher.
He showed up at the Today Show.
I thought he showed up. Yeah, he showed up at
Oh, that's right.
his apartment because
That's
he thought
right.
it was Danielle at the door.
Uh-huh.
And so I thought that she was going to overhear, and that's when she was going to find out.
Yeah.
But she didn't. So I was like, how's she going to find out?
right.
Mhm.
He needed to let that go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he even said, he's like, I need to tell her everything because he's starting to feel like, okay, I want to be with her, but I can't fully be with her until she knows everything. And so he you could tell he wanted to. He was just working through it at his own pace. But they finally meet up with Trina. All of that happened very fast. I was surprised.
Yeah, it did.
It progressed pretty quick.
Trina is wild.
She's a disaster, is what I wrote. And it just made my heart sad for Mel.
Yeah.
That her mom was just so consumed with herself
Right.
and her happiness that she didn't even think about her kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she had zero relationship with her mom, and Trina was like completely oblivious to the fact. Like later on when they have their talk, and she's like, "Oh, really? I didn't realize you felt that way." Fucking really?
Yeah, for real.
You don't see me for a whole year. You only come around on my birthday, and you don't think I feel this way? Like, okay.
But I mean, that's not new in that realm of, like Hollywood parents and their kids and all.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, she said she was raised by a nanny, basically.
yeah. Which, I mean, hey, I used to be a nanny.
You didn't
Big
raise
cute.
them.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah,
But,
that's the difference.
In that realm of life, if that's what you do, then you don't care. I mean, you care enough to pay the bills and make sure that the nanny is paid. And
Or that the kid is safe, at least.
Right.
Because if you didn't have a nanny, who knows what that kid would be up to?
Yeah.
Or if
Right.
you're dragging him around to all these weird fucking places she's probably went.
Yeah. And then, there's a trauma waiting to happen in that.
Yeah.
I'd rather, I can't say that I would do that because I wouldn't, but at least I know they're safe at home with somebody that
Yeah.
at least I did a background check on and all that jazz.
Maybe.
You know?
I don't
Well,
know
At
if
the
Trina
least.
did.
Probably not.
Trina even says something about maybe you were raised that way, but I didn't raise my daughter to be whatever.
Yeah.
And Melody was like, raised me.
Right?
Yeah.
What?
Ma'am, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Where were you?
I did get kind of annoyed with Beat a little bit. So when they go to talk to Trina, she's having some weird powwow thing. They're beating drums, singing, being weird, and the neighbor guy is in Santa outfit, confronting her, saying, "You're on my property, get off," and all hell breaks loose. and they start like brawling basically. And Mel runs in to try to help her mom because she's about to get beat up.
By Santa.
And by Santa Claus.
At that point, maybe let it happen.
Right. And long story short, Trina and Mel get arrested and Beat loses his shit. Like, he is acting like this is the end of the world.
Right.
I was like, dude, chill. Like, chill out. You literally have endless amounts of money. You don't think, I'd be a little more anxious if I was poor and my partner got arrested and I didn't have money to bail them out. But like, you have a lot of money. That's not the problem. Right. You just have to follow the steps.
I'd be more mad if I was Mel and had to get my mugshot taken.
Yeah. But he was like, it was like borderline. I was like, okay, it's kind of sweet how upset he is. But at the same time, I was like, you are dancing on the edge of overprotective. He is just right there waiting to. I was like, oh, geez.
And sometimes I can't, like, I love the overprotective trope sometimes, but when when we're edging on like almost narcissistic, and like that kind of thing, I can't do it. Like, now I feel like you doing it to me and I'm not in the book.
Yeah. It's cute. Like, oh, thank you. I love a big, strong man, whatever.
Yeah.
But damn.
Right.
I need some space.
I need to breathe.
I would like to be in this jail cell for like 30 minutes.
Right. It's peaceful in here.
Well, they were in there for like an hour and he comes storming in and gets her out. And then Trina's like, hey, what about me, assholes? And they get her out too. And
she probably needed to stay a night,
Yeah.
They go back to her compound.
Right.
And Mel meets her mom's boy toy, I guess.
Yeah.
Not boyfriend, just a guy she's sleeping with who's like half her age.
He said, your mom's my favorite, if that makes you feel better.
I'm like,
ew.
But then this is where so Mel and Beat end up singing the popular song that was from their mom's band. And she's basically like, well, we're going whether you're gonna come do this or not, so you decide. But she basically like tells her mom off, and then her and Beat storm off upstairs where they have some fun time. And we find out what Beat's tastes are. And everyone's dying to know what happened on the internet because don't forget, this is live stream. So,
which is so invasive,
right?
Man. I couldn't do that.
Well, they're instantly like, everyone's like, what happened in the attic? What happened in the attic? Because we all saw you go up there. And they're like, no, like, chill. We're not telling you. And is that the time where they spend a little bit of time apart? Or they had to spend like 2 days apart because they were doing something else?
Yeah, that's when they got 2 different cameramen.
Oh, yes. Okay. So Beat goes to talk to his mom. And it just freaking cracked me up because when they get there, she's like, I've been watching the live stream.
And she loves Melody.
And she loves Mel. And she's like all in it. She's like, this is great. And then she's like, first things first, what happened in the attic? And he's like, I'm not telling you. The part that I liked was when the mom said that she was getting on the message boards. She said, that was something to see, wasn't it? You were both off key in the second verse of Rattle the Cage, but nobody noticed. And I didn't post about it on the message boards. She scratched her eyebrow. That definitely wasn't me. Right. And then she says, it was me. He said, yes, I know. I was like, I really like her. She's funny.
She did grow on me.
Yeah. And then she was like, I don't know if we should get a French chef or an Italian chef.
Yeah, she really wanted to have Mel over and she wanted to cook food for her. I was just like, oh, that's so sweet.
Which is like, I want a mother-in-law that is like, wants
likes
to be
you.
my bestie.
Yeah.
Like maybe not no, let me take that back, Lord. Don't hear me say that. That just likes me.
Yeah, like genuinely.
Yeah, and I can hang out with, like, because I can hang out with my mom anytime.
Yeah.
I know. I was on the phone with my mom on the way here.
Right. But, and like, I don't want to be your best friend, but I would like to be able to sit down and have coffee with you and like.
Well, I think it's a different relationship too with your spouse when you're, their parents like you, because there's no like animosity between everybody.
No friction or
yeah,
like you don't because I know somebody right now that is having problems with her in-laws, and it's always like this point of, I'm gonna say contention. I feel like that's the right word.
Yeah.
Ooh, vocab.
Look at you. You've been reading some books.
Hey, you know,
What are we
and like
doing
always
here?
butting heads, and like she doesn't feel like her husband's taking up for her.
That's where I'm saying. I'm like, yeah, if you're not if you
Right.
don't have a good relationship with your in-laws, it's gonna put stress on you and your partner.
Yeah, and then it's not worth it. You're like, why would I hang around, or why would I go to family functions and be a part of this when I could have peace at my house? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just praying I don't have that problem.
That's why I really liked that they all took so well to each other.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Do you want to fast forward to the snowball fight?
The was
snowball
that
fight.
after the bocce game?
Uh-huh. So he decides I can't be away from her anymore.
Oh, he got pink paint.
Mm-hmm. And he goes and they do the bocce tournament and she does really well. And then Vance, that was his name, right?
Yeah.
Beat's friend Vance was like, "We're gonna go have a snowball fight." They're all fucking wasted. And
He's
I
been
feel like this was
champagning.
really a turning point for their conversation. This was a turning point for their relationship. Because I feel like he got to see Mel let loose for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, "Oh my gosh, she's amazing." And then she saw him open up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were both just like, "That's who I want to be with. Like, that's what I want." And then that's when things happen between the two of them. And they are kind of basically a couple. I said, then he acts a fool. I said, I hate how he can't talk to people. Like, dude, you can't carry the world on your shoulders. It's okay to ask for help. But
and he didn't. It took him so long.
It's so annoying.
And I was like, I mean, shoot, it takes me a while to ask for help, but I'm like, I get to a really desperate point.
But I feel like the situation that he was in,
it
would have been
serious.
Like, that's something you talk to somebody about.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, if I was him, first of all, I call my mom about everything, but I would have called my mom and said, "Hey, this guy's saying that he's my real dad.
Right?
What's up with that?"
Right.
Yeah, then there wouldn't have been any blackmail situation
Yeah.
from the get-go.
So,
Ugh.
could have done that, Beat.
Yeah.
But maybe next time.
He agrees.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's like, ask for help, guys.
right? He's like, "I'm asking for
He
help."
probably does need a diaper change.
He's fine. Those are happy noises. But this is where Beat and Mel open the door, and all the because they stayed the night together, they open her apartment door, and all the like paparazzi and journalists are there, and Beat's like, "We're together. We're a couple. We're dating." And then
I stayed the night.
yeah, and then they go back inside, and then they have the Today Show, and they film that, and right away they introduce a surprise guest, and it is Fletcher, Beat's bio dad, and he plays into it like, "I'm gonna join the reunion. I'll be the drummer for it. It'll be great." And then afterwards, Mel goes and talks to the host of the Today Show, and Beat kind of gets cornered by his bio dad. And basically his bio dad threats Mel. He says, "Hey, I could get money from her too.
Yeah, what an asshole.
She'd do anything to protect
Man.
you."
Just go join a different band.
Right. Stop being so mad. You need to go to therapy.
Yeah. And so instead of Beat, like, I don't even know. I just would have been like, "Leave her alone. Oh my gosh."
Right.
You know? No, Beat's like, "I can solve this." And he's like, "We're not together. We're not dating. It's all an act." Blah, blah, blah. Goes on. Then Mel comes out. He shuns her, basically. Makes her feel terrible. Doesn't tell her any of this. Then she leaves, and they're having to spend like 3 days apart at this time. And she's like devastated because he's like, "We're not in a relationship."
He should have told her right after.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
should have called her or
I
texted
hold
her.
grudges. You did this to me. Oh,
Right.
just I'll pretend like we're friends again, and then I'll crush your heart.
Right.
But so she is devastated. She's just so sad. And she's kind of just going through the motions, doing what she needs to do, doing some work. She's really upset. She's kind of trying to walk home, and the crowds of people are getting more and more. And she's like trying to get home, but she just doesn't even have the motivation to like move or walk or do anything. And then she sees her mom at her house.
Mhm.
I was shocked.
Mm.
I couldn't believe her mom made that effort.
I
to
know. I
go
thought that
to
was
her.
a good thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
think that
obviously it was a good
important.
thing, but
Right.
like it was a good step for her mom
Right.
Yes.
to like,
Because it wasn't there before.
yeah.
Yeah. She made that effort. It wasn't the day. It wasn't her birthday, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they got to have that serious talk that had a lot of things that they needed to say.
Yeah.
Which one of the things that I really, really liked was that Mel said, "Well, I'm sorry I called you out in front of your friends." Her mother's eyebrows rose. "Are you? Seemed to me you were enjoying it." This is the part I liked. She said, "I didn't say I didn't enjoy it. I just said I was sorry."
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that can go with like, you know, when people say like forgive and forget,
Mm-hmm.
like you can forgive someone. You don't have to forget what happened.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like same with being sorry. Like, you know, she said like, yeah, I meant it.
Right.
Like I didn't say I didn't mean it, but I'm sorry I did that.
Right.
Mhm.
You know,
She stood on business.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry that it
But
had
she-
to happen.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
Yes. And then she spills the beans.
The beans are spilled just like Kevin on The
Yep.
Office.
At this point, I was like, this is where her mom is going to say, Fletcher's your dad too, and you're
I
banging your
know.
brother.
Or she says, Fletcher isn't Beat's dad. He's your dad.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh shit! Like, I was
just
waiting for
knew
something
there was gonna
like
be some
that.
crazy thing.
Right.
But it really wasn't.
No,
She just
it wasn't.
said, she told her mom, she's like, Fletcher is blackmailing Beat, and all this stuff, and that's why he did that on the Today Show. He just showed up, and now he's trying to be on the reunion. And
Mhm.
Trina was like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but take me to Octavia now. And she was like shaking.
Mm-hmm.
She was so mad and like upset when Mel told her that Fletcher was doing this to Octavia's family.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really important. I was like, wow, like they have all this animosity, but at the end of the day, like she's still someone that she cares about enough to be like, she needs to know this is happening, you
Yeah.
know?
And I feel like a part of the reason why they broke up is, or that it was like kind of not easy, but the way they got back together,
Mm-hmm.
it shows that there was some real true love and friendship back
Yeah.
then.
Yep.
And she was still like past all of the, you know, tension and anger and resentment and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was still that real deep down inside. And I mean, she, you know, loved Beat and,
Mhm.
you know, loved the history of their band enough to be like, I'm not going to allow this person to keep doing this to your family.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's what friendship is.
I was thinking like they were upset with each other because of like what was happening, and then they broke up. But you have to think like the media probably makes it so much worse.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
They're making it sound like this person's talking like all this shit on you and all this.
Yeah.
So then your hatred is just growing toward
Mhm.
them.
Yeah.
So that would be really hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, then the moms come together and they're basically like, we're going to take this fucker down.
It's so funny. They're like little banter
Yeah.
to each other.
Mm-hmm.
They just have the funniest
They
insults.
have a bond. Like well, and then once they got together and they were planning this, you could see that connection just instantly
Mm-hmm.
go back. Like the
Mhm.
two of them had that history that was able to recover from that, you know, all the bad stuff that happened.
Yeah.
But so after all the beans have been spilt and everyone knows, we're talking Octavia, everybody knows that Fletcher is Beat's bio dad, and him and Mel have a discussion. He's realizing that he literally made everything worse by keeping it to himself. And
Duh.
Mm-hmm.
Mel said something that I really liked. Where'd it go? All I see is naughty words. Where'd it go?
Not the naughty words.
We'll get there.
Well,
Okay.
Oh.
She says, I was gonna say while you're
As
looking.
long as it's ready.
She says, love doesn't come and go that easily, Beat. You need to believe that you can lean on it even when you have to lean really hard. She's like, your parents aren't going to not love you because you have a sperm donor, basically.
Mhm. Yeah.
Like, and that he's blackmailing you and all this. Like, Beat just thought it was the end of the world. And she's like, no, you have to love and trust your people. And sometimes it's scary and you just have to lean on that trust and love that they have for you.
Right. Because it's not like they didn't show that they wouldn't have done that and taken care of the issue.
Yeah.
Because really, it's not his issue. It's his mama's issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, she shouldn't have kept that from all of them. Like,
Right.
that's her bad. He's protecting her from all of that.
That's
but
what he
really,
he agreed.
and his dad, because he really does love his dad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And he's like, just because you're not my like biological father doesn't mean you're not my dad. But
I thought that was so sad when he came up and what was his name, Rudy? When
I
he
think so.
came up and like asked him if he was still.
He's like, are you still my boy?
That made me so sad.
Oh.
Sir, it's
Yeah.
been 30 years. Of course I am.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you
And
right.
then they
mean?
do the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so cute.
Because that's your daddy.
Yep. I really liked how this book ended. They get the climax. They're going to the. Shut up! I knew you
So
were gonna
did
say
he.
that. they get to the reunion concert and it's going great. And Octavia and Trina call out Fletcher. He gets dragged off the stage.
Period.
Beat's like, I'm leaving. I need time to think. I love her. If she loves me, it'll happen, but I
Right.
can't push it on her. She needs time. And they make a video.
Yeah, it was pretty cute.
I was like, oh, I could just picture it in my head. So Danielle, which is the producer for the show, had made a clip of all these videos from the whole thing, the whole series, and mashed them together of all these different special moments that her and Beat had shared, Mel and Beat had shared, some of which I felt like they didn't even know
He
about.
really liked this part.
Like the conversation at the very beginning with when they go sit at the table and they're deciding if they want to.
Oh yeah, that part was so cute.
Yeah. And then they had that interview clip from when Beat was 16 and he seemed all flustered and they were like,
Yeah.
"Are you okay?" And he's like, "I just met Melody."
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I was like, "I love it." And then
Adorable.
the whole Mel running to Beat and the fans helping.
Yeah, that was so funny. They're like, where is he?
They're all they're like checking on their phones, the message boards. They're like, I hate that girl, but she's real reliable. But then she finds him and it's snowing and he looks all defeated and then he proposes. And I was like, of course he has a
scrumptious.
ring. How did he already have a ring?
They always have a ring.
Right? He was
On the
ready.
ready in his
He
pocket.
bought it when he was 16.
Right. Yeah. He knew.
Right?
The cheesiest thing I highlighted was there's no beat without a melody. I was like, stop it.
Right? Well,
That should have been the title. Because this was not a Christmas book. It was just set in
No.
Christmas time.
yeah.
It was a winter book.
It wasn't even Christmas. It was Christmas Eve.
Right, exactly.
It happens. Yeah, Christmas came around. Well,
But the TV show was called Wreck the Halls.
yes.
Right.
Ties in.
Okay, so should we do third date?
Third day.
Holy shit.
Okay, I have a question that is not very spicy. Third date.
Okay.
What do they mean when they say their eyelids droop involuntarily? Like, what do you...
Their eyelids.
What do you
I wish I had a video of that.
I
Dang
can't picture it. What does that mean?
Maybe it's they're like,
They just get a real sleep.
They're like, I know. I get tired. My eyes
Right.
droop.
Droopy, like just a little slit right there.
it's so good they can't keep their eyes open. So
They said like 2 or 3 times in this book, and I was like, what are they doing?
whatever it was, it must have been good. So should we talk about the attic scene?
Yeah.
We figure out what Beat likes.
We sure do. Or what he
So-
doesn't.
So apparently Beat is into something called edging. Is this really a thing? Has anyone heard of this?
Yeah.
My husband is shaking his head. What the F? This is a real thing. So, for those of you who are naive like me, I didn't know this was a thing.
Orgasm denial. That's what she called it, right?
Beat likes to get amped up, but not finish. I said, that sounds painful.
Doesn't
I think
sound
that's the
fun.
point.
But I
Right.
think that's what he likes. Yeah. So that's interesting.
Don't they do that in 50 Shades of Grey?
I don't
Probably.
remember that.
He does it to her.
Right.
That's
I mean,
when
I've
she
read
has to
that in
use
books
the-
for sure.
She has to use the red safe word.
Mm,
I didn't read the book.
I don't remember.
It's
It's been a while.
I think it was in the third one.
Yeah.
How many books are there?
3.
3? Oh. That's a lot.
Well, this book.
Sorry.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
So
He says transactional nature like 2 or 3 times talking about.
yeah.
And at first I was like, is he going to see sex workers? Is he going to a dominatrix house? Like, what does he mean by transactional? Is he paying somebody for this?
It sounds like it.
Okay. That's what I was
think so.
wondering.
I think he's
Like
but
going
then
to, like,
it
the
sounds
clubs
like he does finish
have that.
later by himself.
Yeah. He just doesn't
Let
let
them do
them
it.
do it.
During
so weird.
the act.
Yeah. So weird.
So technical. Sounds
But-
like
That's what
not a
I have a
fun
lot of
time.
questions for him.
right.
That's a lot of control.
We need you on the pod.
Right?
Come on down.
Well, so in the attic scene, they are like getting it on, and I was surprised. I was like, when he says that he doesn't want to finish, but they still have sex,
The control that must take.
right?
But then I thought he would, when he said he like finishes by himself later, I didn't think he would just roll over and like finish right there. You know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
He basically just pulls out.
Yeah, because anybody
That's a
can do
thing.
that.
Yeah.
You know? So I thought it would be more self control than just pulling out.
Yeah.
So
Well, and then she just felt like after that, it was like, ugh, she just had this like ucky feeling, like
Mhm.
lonely.
Yeah.
She said,
but also you've known him for like what, a week, and you want him to come inside you?
Right.
with no protection.
Maybe we should think about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
No protection. Did they have the safe sex talk? I can't remember.
She said, I'm okay with it if you are.
Yeah.
He said, maybe one time, sometime later on.
Yeah.
And that was their sex talk.
Oh my god.
That's what I liked about, well, it was the last book we read.
Yeah.
Safe sex, guys.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do like that a lot of the books that we read that are like, what do they call them? Open door romance.
Mm.
That tell it all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I like when they have the talk, like they'll say, I always use protection, or I get tested, or
Mhm.
things like that, or I've never been, like, I've only been with one person and
Mhm.
I've always used that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Because those are uncomfortable conversations to have. And
Especially like if you're in the moment.
yeah. Or even, yeah, it's just,
But it needs
it's
to be a part of the
important.
conversation.
It does.
And
Because if you're like, do you have a condom? And they say, no, I just thought we'd raw dog it. And you're like, no, sir.
nope, not
That's
happening.
crazy awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they put it in books.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yep. But okay, so then I liked after the snowball fight when she tells him she needs all of him. She's like, I don't want that. Like, yeah, it's great for me, but it's not good for me because I know that you're like basically suffering. Like,
Right.
you know, he's enjoying it, but it's not
Maybe,
healthy.
And maybe him not being able to ask for help is feeding into this need to, do sex this way
Mhm.
because he has some sense of control in that
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you're in that, if you're having sex with somebody, you want to be a give and take. You want there to be some
Yeah.
reciprocity.
Yeah.
The
Ooh.
words today.
It's like I know the dictionary.
Yeah.
But there needs to be a give and take in some way because you don't want to let your partner down
Mhm.
Yeah.
and you don't want to be let down.
And I like that she said, like, this is something I want to do if it's what you want to do, but we need to do it in a healthy way.
Yeah.
Because that ain't healthy.
No.
Well, he's doing it in a he's doing it to punish himself.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
because he likes it.
Yeah.
Right.
Kind of thing. Like, it'd be different.
He needs
Yeah.
to let go and let God, okay?
Yeah.
Just let go.
Let
God
let
is a
it
lot of...
Okay. I had to highlight that we had a panty slide. Did
We
you guys
did.
catch it?
We also had a panty rip-off
Yeah.
and a
I
panty
thought
peek.
we were gonna. I was going to say that first panty ripoff. I was worried was going to be a panty slide because I think that was the first time or one of the. That was the.
They were grinding on each other with their clothes on, but he bared her sex. That's what it said. That's one of the ones I don't
Oh
enjoy
my
reading
gosh.
that sentence.
Yeah. I just think
That was
these
funny.
these books are so funny because the sex scenes are like just so. Some of them are so.
Some books are crazy. Like, they specifically tell you every single detail, and you're like, yeah, I can picture that. And some are
Yeah.
like, the
Like-
words they use
Yeah.
make me giggle, and I can't.
I should not be giggling during
Like
this scene.
the elevator scene is really the one that stands out to me.
That one made me mad. I was
Yeah, 'cause
angry.
She said, we're not kissing, we're not having sex, don't touch, don't talk to me, I need time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, but you wanna? And she's like, no. And he's like, okay, what if I do this? And hits the elevator emergency stop. And then she's like, no. And then next thing you know, he's got her pinned up against the wall
Yeah.
and they're doing it. And then she's like, just because this is happening doesn't mean I'm not still mad. And I'm like, y'all are ridiculous.
Right.
But okay.
I know. Stop it.
Stop
It made me so mad. I was like, she literally just said,
No.
and he's like, so you're going to let me fuck you, but we're not together? And she was like, uh-huh. I'm like, okay,
maybe
good,
that
good
was
for
her
you.
way of.
Good for
Right.
you.
But also, that's kind of
But
manipulation
when
in itself.
you
a little
say,
bit.
Like
I
I
need
said,
space, that
that's
doesn't
boy.
mean let's go have sex first.
Right.
It means
Yeah.
I
That's
need
not
space.
fixing problems. That's
No.
not fixing problems.
It made it worse because then she was confused
Yeah.
and also needed to buy more underwear.
Right?
You know how expensive that can get.
Right?
Stop ripping our panties off.
Penny equality.
Or two, just like one time, maybe. But would that hurt? Because I'm thinking that might hurt.
What
feel
are
like it
the pants that like you can rip off?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
with the
You
butt
need those
track
for
pants.
underwear.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or you could get the dissolvable ones. Remember all the TikToks?
I saw
with
the Fruit
guys?
Loop one or the fruit roll up ones.
That would be sticky.
Yeah, that's icky sticky.
Yeah.
That would be gross. I couldn't.
They have them at Patricia's.
Yeah. Or they have regular fruit roll-ups. You could just paste them on your body.
Ew. The tattoo ones.
Oh my gosh.
Gross.
Should we do fuck, marry, kill? Or is there any
Well,
other
I have one
spicy
thing.
you want to talk about?
She never said the words "I love you" in this entire book,
Yeah, and then they're married.
but he did
Mm-hmm.
multiple times.
Mhm.
She never did. In her head, she was like, "Oh, I love him,"
Mm-hmm.
in so many words.
But you need to say it out loud.
Why didn't she say it?
There's
the moment
always-
just passes.
He said, "You
by."
can call me your boyfriend, your fiance, just one thing." She was like, "Nah, mate." And I was like, "I'm not gonna call you my fiance because you didn't get down on one knee, sir."
Right.
Yeah.
He got down too.
And put her legs around his shoulders. Okay. That's so funny. Are you ready for fuck, marry, kill?
Yeah, I am. Let's do
Okay.
it.
That was
Does
such
anybody-
an awkward pause. Like,
Sorry.
I didn't know if we had anything else.
Well,
No.
I was reading the notes that I wrote down, and one
Making
of them
sure.
said, "I like that sign that said only one bed trope IRL."
Yeah.
I read this very late at night.
Yeah. There's always those little lines though that are like so funny, and you just highlight them just to be like, haha, that was funny.
Yeah.
You're like,
Sometimes I highlight just like 2 words, and then I'm like, "Why did I highlight
Right?
this? What was I
I always put
thinking?"
notes, but sometimes my notes are just LOL.
Yeah,
I usually do emojis.
I
Smart.
don't have emojis on my Kindle.
Oh, I guess I do it on my phone. So
I didn't even know you could do either of those things.
Yeah. If you highlight it, then you can click note, and it makes a note, and it attaches to that quote. So then when you look
Stop
at your
it.
notes, you can click on it, and you can see what you said, and it takes you exactly to where it was in the book
Mhm.
too.
That's so smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
Technology's crazy.
Whoa, dude.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
Okay, I want to go
first.
last. So
Okay,
I'll go second.
I
Then.
had a lot of
Good choice.
options for this. Fuck
Mhm.
Joseph,
Okay.
because he sounds funny, and he's obviously
You know, at first I thought he was gonna
and-
be like he was gonna do something creepy.
oh yeah.
Because even Beat was like, I don't want him to be the cameraman. And so I thought he was going to be like,
Well,
pull something that he
Yeah.
shouldn't. But he didn't. He was great the whole
Beat
time.
was just protective.
Beat
Yeah.
was a
Already
psycho.
peeing on his property.
Sure was.
Jesus. Uh, so I thought maybe Vance too, because I
Mhm.
was like, I couldn't decide. But then after I thought of Vance, I thought of Joseph, and I was like, yeah, I think Joseph is gonna be my pick. And then obviously Mary Beat, and then I'm going to kill Fletcher, and Danielle is gonna be my best friend.
I love that.
All right. Okay, Mary. Okay, let me start with my best friend. I'm gonna go with Octavia.
Okay.
I
'Cause
loved
she's
her.
rich.
Yeah, I did like her.
Right.
She gets you
Um,
some mean Christmas presents.
Right. And I loved her character development through it all.
They all
So
had good development.
Mary beat Kill Fletcher, and then I'm gonna F Vance.
Okay.
It was between Joseph, Vance, and Beat.
Mhm.
And since
Well,
you
you're
said Joseph, I'll
already-
go with Vance.
I was gonna say you're already gonna get to F Beat because you're marrying him.
Right,
so
exactly.
Really, if there's another valid option, I would pick somebody else to F.
You know,
Since
what's
you're already
kind of
gonna
funny
get to F him.
is I feel like I have to pick Beat for one of them because he's the main character.
Yeah.
But I
You
don't
have to go. Be your
I
own
don't want
person.
to.
Don't do it, honey. Don't do it.
So I'm gonna F Vance. I'm gonna marry Rudy.
Yeah.
Okay,
He
I
was gonna
seems
say
like
that
a
too, yeah.
great husband.
He's
Yeah.
funny. He lets her do her
He
thing.
wears ugly Christmas sweaters.
But she lets him do his thing.
Exactly. And he
I
just
love it.
hangs out. Love that.
Good pick. Good pick.
I'm going to kill Fletcher because
Right.
obviously. And my best friend, I couldn't pick between Melody and Danielle. I liked both of
Yeah,
them.
I liked
Mhm.
Melody too.
Melody was like
I guess I was
funny
picturing
and
myself
quick-witted.
being Melody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but I think if I weren't Melody, then I think I would pick Melody as my best friend.
I think that, you know, in real life, you have like best friends for different parts of your life.
Yeah.
Mm.
And Melody's the best friend that is like more fun, the one you want to go out with, hang out with. But then Danielle's the one that you can go over to each other's houses and just like clean and drink wine.
Yeah.
That
Right.
kind of hangout.
Yeah.
And I like that.
And that's just the kind of lifestyle we're in right now.
hmm
It is.
Okay, so do you know who Nick Bosa is?
Yeah, he's a 49ers player.
Okay, so I stumbled across a picture of him last night, and I was like,
But I've
"Whoa,
never seen him, so I don't know what he looks like.
Show her, you guys, this man.
That is so funny.
You're seeing all my people.
Sorry, I just think that's really funny.
Okay. Oh my gosh, look at him. You gotta show him a good one. Oh yeah, left. Yep. Okay, but he is way too big. Like, this dude is jacked. And I don't think that Beat was that big. So Adam starts texting me, and I was like, hold on, sir. I just found out who Nick Bosa is. And he's like, what? And I was like, sent him a picture of him in his underwear, basically. And you said thanks, and I don't know what that meant. Because, I mean, I just wanted you to see. Yeah. And so then I was like, trying to tell him, I was like, okay, so I
Wait,
thought
did he have
maybe
long
was
hair
this
in that
character,
picture?
But he's too much. Joey Bosa has long hair. And Adam's like, Joey Bosa's his brother, but he's got a big nose.
They're
or something.
brothers?
Yeah. Look at him.
I was wondering if they were related.
He might be my top pick for Beat. I have two options for Beat. This is Beat. This is adult Beat.
A day?
This is adult Beat.
Okay.
Okay.
Joey Bosa is adult
Do you want to
beat.
see I just think he's so handsome. They both are.
See, I normally like a guy with long hair, but he looks better with short hair.
I liked him. I don't know. certain pictures with his long hair I liked. Like that hat, his backwards hat one I liked. But so that's my adult beat, I think. And then my young beat is going to be a young Ashton Kutcher.
Okay.
I love that.
Or a young Jude Law. But I like the young
Jude
Ashton
Law.
Kutcher better. I don't know. I just wanted someone charming and like suave.
Jude
and,
Law
like,
is the definition of charming.
I know. So I think, yeah, it just might be a young Jude Law. I don't know. But the picture I initially found of a young Ashton Kutcher was really good. Did you type in young Ashton Kutcher? Because there was one, and it was like, you know, kind of that 70s show vibe.
Mm-hmm.
There it is, the right,
second one.
far right.
I like the one that he
Or
has
the
that
one
blue
next
shirt.
to it. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That
for
man
sure.
has been beautiful from the day
Yeah.
he was
The
born.
jump, man.
Golly.
Sir,
Look at that man.
stop it.
Okay, so those are my picks.
Good
Now,
picks.
I
Good
have
picks.
the girl as Alexa Chung. But when you look her up, you need to look her up, say Alexa Chung with bangs.
I recently just watched Anyone But You, and so Glenn Powell has just been on my mind.
Oh.
He was
From Top
a
Gun?
contender.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Oh.
because
Do the sky picture. That's just push it because it's beautiful. Oh my gosh. That man.
So Glenn Powell is my pick for beat. I didn't pick a young beat or a young melody because, you know.
They
But
was young.
it's funny that you picked Ashton because for my melody, I picked Mila Kunis.
And they
love
go
her.
together so good.
They do. They're like one of my top 3 celebrity couples.
I vouch for that. I really like them.
But then I actually picked someone for Danielle, and I picked Anne Hathaway.
Ooh. Good. That woman has been also beautiful for forever.
She is.
I
She's gorgeous.
love her.
That's a good pick.
I just feel like her personality is fitting for Danielle's.
Yeah.
What was that movie where she's the assistant to the
Devil
leader?
Wears Prada.
Yep, that gives me totally Danielle vibes.
Yep, for real. That's so funny. Well, I have some trivia.
Let's do it.
Guys,
Okay, what was
this is all you. Here, let me fix
Melody's?
your mic.
Yeah, fix my mic. Mic, please.
Okay, are you ready for the trivia?
You're just trivializing her because
You might know some of them. This one, okay, I'll give you some easy ones. What was the band's name? Sydney, come
What
on.
was it? Dang it.
see,
You said it.
Steel.
2
Still
minutes ago.
Magnolias.
Steel.
That's a real one. Try again.
Wait, that's a band too? I thought it was just a movie.
Steel birds.
Yes, it was Steel Birds.
That was close. See?
Okay,
I just picked a flower. instead of
Sydney,
birds.
what sport, in quotes, sport, I think it's a sport, did Melody play?
I don't know. Soccer.
Bocce ball.
Oh,
What do you-
Oh my god! I was like, when she was younger, did they mention that? What?
I can't play Family Feud, but I got this.
Hey, ding 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 ding.
Okay, what color bands did she wear on her braces?
Teal.
Good job.
She's on it.
When Octavia entered the gala, she was carried on a throne by 4 men dressed as
Swans.
Pharaoh. I was gonna throw you off.
You're so bad.
Read the book.
I did, guys. I was sleep deprived. Okay, he wasn't sleeping a lot those first couple of nights, and I was
Who blesses the pregnancies of Trina and
a
Octavia?
priest.
Stevie Nicks.
Yes, Stevie Nicks.
What is Stevie Nicks?
For 200.
Or sorry, who is?
What is Stevie Nicks?
What is the scholarship foundation called?
Octave.
Nope, but it starts with O.
Avocado.
Avocado.
I'll give you a hint. A standing
Ovation.
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 Okay, now some of these might be a little harder. What year did the band break up?
2007.
70.
2008.
1993.
Oh, see, I was in the right era.
You said, didn't
I
you
was
say
in the right
1970?
Right millennial. What is that?
What
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Melody's deodorant?
Oh, the speed
Musk.
stick.
Yep, powder fresh scented lady speed stick.
That's such a random trivia question.
That's my era. Like, that was a thing.
What Judy Blume book was Melody restoring?
Come on, this is your person.
Something of a third grader.
No,
First
it wasn't. Nope.
What?
Super Fudge.
Oh,
What did Beat say Mel smelled like when they met for the second time ever?
Gingerbread.
Vanilla.
Yep, I'll give you half the points. He said one other thing.
Like seasonal, like Christmas.
Gingerbread and wind.
Wind. Oh, okay.
Wind.
Wind has a smell?
That's what he said.
Hey.
Congrats. You did great.
Yay!
What new girl character are we now?
You know, I only heard bad reviews for this book.
What?
Yep.
I heard good ones.
Me too. I heard good ones as well.
It was all over my TikTok.
All the ones I read on like Goodreads and the Facebook pages I'm on, nobody liked it.
Really?
Mhm.
And they liked the one that you said was that we all didn't like.
Which one?
The If I Can't Have You.
Oh God, people liked
If I
that.
can't have you.
So, what is our happily ever after?
I don't know. What is our next book?
I don't think we picked one.
Are we gonna do
Y'all are in our meeting right now.
Between the Blue.
Between the Blue.
the lions.
No, that's.
Let's watch an episode together, guys. What is the book again? Sorry.
Between the Blue, we are arc reading for Nikki Witt, good friend of Morgan Page, who is
Hey.
someone we all love and adore.
Yeah.
And we hope to soon have more of Nikki on our podcast.
Yeah.
You can find Nikki on Nikki's Book Nook on Instagram. And on January 10th, Between the Blue will be published, and it is a hockey romance.
All right, Nikki girl.
let's do it.
That's our next book.
We are honored to read for you.
Yes. Oh, right. Okay, so we also, if you've been on our Instagram page or our Facebook page, you know that we did a giveaway for our amazing downloads for the podcast, and just because we love you guys. And so we had two,
And without you guys, we wouldn't be here.
quite literally.
Well, we would, but it would just be less fun.
Right. For
Last books. You guys
sure.
helped me reach my book goal of the year, and then quite a few.
I have 2 more.
Yeah, I
Good thing I have a couple days.
Right. Jeez. We're about to be listening to a lot of books. And so our winners are, drum roll please.
Does that sound like drum?
Our first winner, and this is for the mug, the t-shirt, and the signed copy of,
Ruled out by Morgan Page.
is at Sky East on 8.
Probably
SKYEASTON 8.
Easton.
Sky Easton 8.
Probably.
Okay, girl, period. I like your name, whatever. So Sky East. No. Girl, you won. Okay. Why am I giving this job? And then our second winner is. We're growling at you. Is Vickery Jade at Vickery Jade, and this was for the shirt, the travel mug, and the signed copy. And guys, again, we love you, we appreciate you, and thanks for being a part of our giveaway. If you want to follow us for more giveaways in the future, or just to see more of us or hear more of us, you can follow us at Lovers Library Pod and Lovers Library Book Club on Instagram. We also have a Facebook page, and it's just Lovers Library.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have a Facebook group of our book club, which is Lovers Library Book Club. And so you can always join those different pages, all of our social media. We also have a TikTok account as well.
Sure do.
Which is, I believe, Lovers Library Pod.
Mm-hmm.
We try to keep it consistent around over everything. And so again, guys, we love ya. We appreciate ya. And we hope to hear, or you hear us soon.
Happily ever after.
Bye.